So there's something that I've been hiding from you guys. No Jumper is going broke. I know that might sound crazy.
No, Adam, that doesn't sound crazy at all. In fact, I think that's what everybody expected you to say after you let your 304 of a wife bang Jason Love on camera only about a year after saying you would never do so because you have way too much money.
Now, would you guys ever have a dude be in your scenes?
No. We got a one-way thing going here.
Right.
I got too much money to have her getting dunked. Some linebacker. I can't do it.
In fact, I think the entire world was kind of deep down hoping you were going broke because nobody could really comprehend why exactly you would let your wife bang Jason Love on camera and then a few months later turn around and have a reality TV show where about 5 to 6 guys had a competition to see who was gonna get to bang his wife next.
So we've arranged this whole challenge to find the perfect guy to be our first ever boy-boy-girl threesome.
And of course, out of all of the people she could have chosen, there was multiple guys that looked like Adam22. She chose the guy that looked the complete opposite of her husband, clearly trying to find the closest thing resembling a round 2 with Jason Love.
You guys are all very attractive. You guys all turned me on during the lap dance. Picking one over the other, it's hard for me. But we have come to a conclusion.
Yeah, after everything that we've seen today, we've finally come to a decision. And the person who's gonna f my wife is Lil D.
Nigga, stop playing with me!
And after selling your soul to make as much money as possible, only to realize that your street sweeper of a wife actually enjoyed it.
In your personal opinion, okay, which did you prefer? What do you prefer more, the BBC or Mr. Husband over here?
Did enjoy Jason's new
And may actually prefer guys that don't look like you. Adam22 completely crashed out and started doing whatever he could to get some attention on the internet and make a quick buck. That's when I guess he would have the great idea to attempt to convince the world that he actually likes boys by setting up a photo shoot with Jack Doherty's brother, who just so happens to be gay, and making it seem like they got caught going on a walk together.
I'm going to fool the world, and it's going to be hilarious. I'm going to go down the street and take a photo of myself walking the dog with Jack Doherty's brother, and I'm gonna have somebody film it, and we're gonna leak the footage and try to get some kind of like news hype cycle going.
Not too long after that, they would set up another photo shoot where they would take some extremely sus pictures together and post those all over Twitter, again just trying to get attention, and Adam acting as if he's coming out. Well, Adam wasn't done there with the attention-seeking behavior, because all around the same time this happened, he decided he was gonna pull a prank on the No Jumper crew and walk onto the show wearing a thong.
I'm gonna put on this thong, and I'm gonna go into the news, and I'm gonna say hi to everybody. Flacco's in on it. Actually, DW's in on it. I don't think Sharp's in on it. But I'm purposely wearing this Weezer shirt that like kind of rides up really high. So I'm assuming that we're gonna be able to get another little bit of gay news viral hype.
Just more attention-seeking behavior from Adam here, but the issue with this is nobody really seemed to care, as everyone was just kind of done with Adam's attempt at getting more attention on his name. In fact, he would actually upload a video only a day after doing all of this on April 2nd that would only garner 56,000 views. Now, 56,000 views is pretty solid for a normal YouTube video, but when you're going out of your way to do something viral and you drop a video about it and not even 100,000 people click on it, I think it shows just how little people really care. And after this, it seems like Adam kind of stopped with all the shenanigans and went back to just doing his no jumper thing and being a cuck in silence. That would be until a few weeks ago when Adam would drop a video on the No Jumper channel titled No Jumper is Going Broke. And in this video, Adam would actually claim that No Jumper is going broke, mainly because they expanded way too quickly back in 2020 when a lot of people on the internet were making a lot of money because everybody was stuck inside and they needed something to watch while they were spending 10 to 15 hours a day stuck inside their house.
We expanded too much during COVID at just about the exact moment that our revenue streams all took a hit. We hired a whole bunch of editors and other employees, and we bought a huge office building that cost us almost $4 million, thinking that the growth that we were experiencing during the pandemic was going to continue. And unfortunately, that did not happen.
But not too long after expanding, buying a $4 to $5 million warehouse, and hiring hundreds of new people onto the staff, the world would open back up. And Adam22 would quickly realize that all the money they were making during 2020 and 2021 was not actually sustainable.
Our YouTube numbers, which had doubled or even tripled, gradually returned to normal. Our Snapchat and Facebook numbers, which had exploded during COVID, sometimes even hitting 6 figures a month, shrank by about 80% or more. In addition to that, you might recall that the channel took quite a hit when approximately 8 of our hosts left the platform in March of 2023. Although we've definitely largely recovered and managed to build up a very healthy roster of talent since then, that certainly took a toll on our business for a while as well.
Adam would go on to say that they also lost their main nojumper Instagram account, which was apparently making them a lot of money.
All that stuff hurt the business, but we were still solidly profitable. That is, until the last few months, where we experienced 2 major L's that we never could have seen coming. First, we lost the nojumper Instagram. After almost 10 years of building it up and essentially no strikes on our account, we got taken down one day and we still have absolutely no idea why. We've had no luck getting it back despite being in contact with what seems like every Instagram recovery guy on the face of the planet. We were bringing in a very solid amount of cash monthly that was keeping us afloat via selling sponsored posts on the account, and that mostly vanished overnight.
Combined with the fact that a former employer is trying to drop a lawsuit right on top of them.
And second, in addition to that, we have been hit with a bullshit lawsuit from a former employee. Now, essentially everything in this lawsuit is completely fictional, and every lawyer that I've spoken to about it has described this as basically an extortion attempt, but it's still cost us a ton of money already, and it's expected to cost us many hundreds of thousands of dollars to see this through to completion.
And again, according to Adam, this is all just kind of compounding, and nojumper is going broke. Although I'm not actually sure how true that actually is, and we'll talk about that in a second, but Adam would continue saying they've already laid off multiple people. They've also shut down their store that they had on Melrose.
Over the last few months, we laid off multiple employees in an attempt to reduce our expenses as much as possible. We closed down our store on Melrose.
Which, like, why the fuck would you have a nojumper store? I really don't know. But then having it on Melrose, I know that rent had to cost like $10,000, $15,000 a month. Honestly, just a terrible financial decision by Adam. But then he would also say that they're actually in the process of selling their warehouse and moving into a smaller space.
And we're in the early stages of selling our current warehouse and moving into a smaller space.
So definitely some big moves by Adam. And Adam would try to say that the reason he's telling everybody about this is because he wants to stay transparent, as he has throughout the entirety of his career.
It was a big decision to share this stuff with you guys, but at a certain point I realized that I've been honest with the world about just about everything in my life over the years, and it felt wrong to keep all this stuff that we've been dealing with in secret.
But then right after saying that, he would basically ask his audience for money.
So I know you're thinking, what can you do to help? Well, I do have some ideas, which I'll sort into 3 categories here: free, cheap, and generous.
So he would first talk about the member program that they have on YouTube and on nojumper's channel. For $5 a month, you get multiple different perks like any other membership on Twitch or on YouTube.
Cheap. We are really trying to get serious about embracing our members here on YouTube. For $5 a month, we've got a ton of awesome benefits, including being able to watch all of our interviews free of censorship and bleeped words before they're released to the public. Members only chat for all of our live stream content, and we're just going to be prioritizing a lot of our most requested content and trying to do that live for members only. So for any of you who are down to spend $5 a month to help support the business, we're just going to try to keep adding more and more stuff to make that an easy decision for you guys who are down to support.
And honestly, usually I don't care about memberships. Like, obviously I want YouTubers to get the bag, but this isn't really a YouTuber. This is a fucking company we're talking about here. A company that is ran by a multi-millionaire that also has multiple other companies that he already admitted earlier in the video are doing completely fine. But to each their own, I guess. If people want to give their hard-earned money to Cuck22, that's up to them, bro. I'm gonna let them do that. But then Adam would go on and talk about the next tier.
And for those of you who have more money to spend, we're introducing a mega premium $100 tier to our memberships that will get your name added to the end of all our videos, and it will also get you consistent advice and opinions on your music submissions with 1 free submission per month and discounted additional songs. Basically, we're just trying to do as much as possible for anybody who's down to join this tier. So we're going to hype you up on our live streams and try to like really give you actual professional advice about what we think that you should do with your career and everything like that. And, you know, we're going to try to add even more value for that $100 tier as time goes by.
A $100 fucking tier, bro, is absolutely asinine, especially coming from someone who apparently just made millions of dollars off of their wife's sex tape that they did with another man. $100 for what? So you can get laughed at when everyone sees your name at the end of every No Jumper video? And in all reality, what is $100 gonna do for an entire company? A company that is going so broke apparently that they have to sell their $4 million warehouse. What is $100 gonna do? Unless literally 1,000 people decide to do that, which isn't gonna happen, that's not even close to enough money to save a dying business. Which leads the question, is No Jumper actually going broke? So a couple people that are associated with No Jumper and Adam22 were actually arrested recently by the feds and are being charged with a lot of crazy things. And a lot of people think that Adam22 is actually involved with those people being arrested. Of course, Adam would deny all of those allegations.
See a lot of people saying that 22 is the reason why Brick got caught up. Fuck out of here. 22, you know what I do. I put people in position, put them on the podcast, give them jobs, help them make legal money.
And I'm not entirely sure about all of the details about that situation. That's not really my bag, but it's really not looking good for Adam or No Jumper when it comes to that. And a lot of people think that Adam is just acting broke so that the feds don't come and try to take his money, which I actually think is very plausible and it does make a lot of sense, but I'm not entirely sure that's what's going on. I think what's more likely the case is that the things that Adam said are true. No Jumper did take a big hit after 2020 and they did overexpand with the warehouse and having a store on Melrose. I also think that their Instagram being taken down was a huge hit to their brand, but I don't think No Jumper was ever actually going broke. I think this was all just a ploy to not only get as much money as they possibly could out of their few fans that they do have left, but to also get their Instagram put back up as that was their main money driving force. And Adam would basically confirm this only a few days after making that video on the No Jumper podcast of all places.
That's part of why I made the videos, because I was like, all right, if I make this video and I can get that many more eyeballs, like if I make this whole narrative go broke, go viral, then I'll also have way more eyeballs on our issue with the Instagram, which has been like incredibly hard to get people to pay attention to because it's just hard to get in touch with meta reps. But either way, you know, I don't mind taking some heat in the public eye. It's all good.
So there you go. Although the No Jumper podcast absolutely is seeing less money than they were a few years ago, they are not going broke. And Adam just titled that video the way he did and made it seem as if they were going broke so he could get more attention on the fact that they lost their Instagram account, as again, that was probably where they were making the majority of their money. And what's really sad about this is that although this situation did blow up just like Adam wanted, his video that he dropped on the No Jumper channel only has about 150,000 views, which means the people that watched that video specifically are No Jumper fans. And the only people that are gonna pay $5 or $100 a month are No Jumper fans. So he basically just lied to his only fans he has left so he can make a quick buck off of them. This dude has absolutely no shame. He let his wife get banged on camera twice so they can make some money. One of those times he banged his wife with the guy that she chose, and now this fucking loser is lying to his audience so he can make $5 a month off of them. What a sad fucking life he must live. And again, not too long after he made that video saying that No Jumper was going broke, he would actually go on Vlad TV and talk about it.
All right, here we go. Adam22, welcome back to Vlad TV.
Happy to be here. How you doing, Vlad?
And in this interview, he would basically double down on everything I've said in this video.
It's like, okay, we're not in the same position that we were during the pandemic, and that's fine. And I just wanted to, you know, open up to the audience about that. There's always a marketing side to it for me. So that was also us kind of like unveiling our membership program, same as you. I explained it in the video, but am I personally going broke? No. I have a very successful business called Plug Talk. I also, not a big spender. I've got plenty of money that I've stashed away over the years. My girl's looking at me like, you really want people to think you're broke? And I'm like, well, I didn't say I was broke. I said that No Jumper was going broke.
Although No Jumper is losing money, it's not actually going broke. And the main reason why he made that video was not only to hopefully get his Instagram account back, but to also unveil his membership program and help No Jumper make a little bit more money. And then right after that, he would literally admit that he's doing completely fine. Adam22 is not going broke. He has multiple businesses that are doing completely fine. And it's just No Jumper that is having a little bit of financial issues. But even then, No Jumper Jumper itself isn't actually going broke. So again, like I said earlier in this video, this multi-fucking millionaire, multiple business owner, kid goes to fucking private school.
My girl was a little bit on the fence about me making that video because she obviously had people hitting her up left and right. Are you going to be okay? Is your kid going to be able to stay in private school, etc.?
Made it seem as if No Jumper was going broke just so he can get his Instagram account back and maybe get a couple people to apply for the membership program. And at this point, it's not even a question. That's exactly what he did, and he's admitted it multiple times. I don't know about you guys, but that kind of feels like a scam to me. He comes out and makes it seem as if he's going broke, although I guess he did never say that he was going broke. He did say that No Jumper was going broke, but he definitely tried to make it seem as if he was going through some real financial troubles, and then a week later just comes out on an interview and basically says, oh yeah, I was just lying about that. Thanks for the fucking memberships. What an actual piece of shit. Adam would also say something else in this interview that I thought was really interesting, and it really had me thinking. So Vlad TV and Adam would be talking about the mortgage that Adam had on his warehouse where he films No Jumper, and Adam would kind of randomly just bring up his house mortgage and say that him and his wife split the mortgage.
Our mortgage from a house is something like $8,000 a month split between me and my wife. And, you know, if we were to...
Wait. You and your wife split the mortgage?
Yeah, we bought it together.
Which that right there isn't the interesting thing I was talking about. In fact, that's how I think it should be. But you know, to each their own, whatever. But during that conversation, he would say that the money comes out $4,000 each out of their personal accounts.
But you guys, what, out of each of your personal accounts, you guys pay half?
Yeah.
Really?
What?
Okay.
You thought I
That's
would just pay for it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Why would you?
Which had me thinking, obviously him and his wife must be splitting the money that they're making. They're not earning money and putting it in the same account. They clearly both have their own personal accounts, which means it's a possibility that Adam didn't even benefit off of his wife getting banged by Jason Love. It may have just been his wife that made money off of that scene, which would make a lot of sense as to why he let his wife get banged a second time and decided that he wanted to join in this time. That's actually fucking insane and completely puts a different perspective on the entire situation. Adam's wife's most profitable scene she's ever had in her entire career was with a different fucking man. And it sounds like to me she took all the money from that, which means Adam didn't actually benefit off being a cuck whatsoever. The only thing he got was a huge hit to his career, as I would assume most of the people that had any respect left for Adam would have lost all of it after he let his wife get fucked by another man on camera and then had an interview with her afterwards. This is actually fucking insane. If Adam isn't the most shameless person in the entire world, I don't know who is. And if you're one of the people that gave this guy $5 a month, you gotta stop that shit, bro. This dude does not care about you, and he does not need your $5. With all that being said though, that is where I'm going to end this video. Let me know down in the comment section, what do you guys think about this situation, and what do you think about Adam? If you did enjoy the video and you haven't already, don't forget to drop a like on the video and comment down in the comment section. 100K is on the way, boys. Let's fucking go. Also, if you haven't already, don't forget to drop a sub over on the second channel, More Slaqin. I'm gonna try to upload over there at least once a week, as well as dropping a short every other day over there, as I just don't want to spam the main channel with shorts, but I will upload one over here every once in a while. With all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching the videos. Thank you so much for supporting, and I will see you in the next one.